your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning. We are the Morning Drive. It is Optimum Game Day Live. We're here just outside Jones Stadium getting you ready for Texas Tech football. Reminder, it's a 6 o'clock kickoff tonight. They'll close school at 2 o'clock here on the campus of Texas Tech University. Those that attend, I'm assuming the online kids also get out at 2 today.
I have no idea.
And then the parking lot has to be cleared over here by 2:30 at Jones Stadium, or they'll start towing cars. So if you've got one over here,
better get it moved.
I was kind of surprised the number of cars that were in the parking lot when I arrived here this morning. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're over at the library working, or maybe they ditched their car and just partied like rock stars last night. I have no idea. Was just kind of surprised at the number of cars that were in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure where all those owners are. I don't know if that's just a parking spot for them to head to their dorm or what.
Yeah, or are they working out over at the indoor facility? Or they, like I said, are they studying hard? Let's see. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line off the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. Talking about the bullpen, don't forget John Gray, who had some huge innings at huge times for the Rangers. No question.
No doubt. Yep, he was big as well.
I hope Garcia publicly thanks Maldonado for waking the Texas Rangers. What do you think about that? Did he wake them?
I think you're small if you're worried about the Astros today. You just won a championship, celebrate the championship, and not
worry about it.
Don't look back at the peasants.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's well said. How many?
Don't become Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech.
Okay. How many? And I don't know off the top of my head, and I know that you do. How many World Series did Derek Jeter win? Did he win 6? 5. Okay. It struck me last night just how humble he was in talking to Bruce Bochy and praising him for the 4. And I'm thinking, I think you have more than that. But I appreciate you not saying anything, because you really don't need to, because we all know that you've won a bunch. But I've just really kind of appreciated his demeanor and seeing him in a different light. I think he's done a really good job. He's a good compliment to those guys, and I thought that just overall thought that was pretty cool. How Derek Jeter's like, I can fill up a hand with rings, but I don't really even need to tell you that or show you that.
Yeah, I think that's who he's always been. He's been a humble guy, just not been a super outgoing guy, and a lot of people tend to think that people that are quiet or aren't always searching for the limelight or arrogant or cocky or whatever. No, it just means that they don't feel the need to talk all the time and try to look for that limelight. So I think that's who he's always been. I think that's, there's plenty of athletes that are just like that, whether they're superstars or not, but there's plenty of really good ones just like that. I think Cliff Kingsbury was like that. And I appreciate those kind of guys.
All right, so Texas Tech and TCU tonight. Red Raiders coming off of the loss to BYU 27-14. That was on October the 21st. And TCU is coming off of a loss in their last game to Kansas State 41-3. So I'm sure both these teams, obviously, you always want to win, but coming off the games that they're coming off of, they're probably really looking to right the ship. I mean, for Texas Tech, you can look at this and go, hey, man, we started a freshman quarterback. We had a ton of turnovers. We played pretty well defensively. If we hadn't given up the ball so much, then perhaps the score would have been a little bit different. For TCU, they just got walloped at Kansas State.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. I think we expected them to lose that game, but I don't think we expected them to lose like they did, right? And so, I think both teams are probably feeling like they're anxious to get back on the field and kind of get past that performance.
And then for TCU, they come in here winners of 4 straight, 7 of their last 9, 5 of the last 6. And so whether they have any confidence as a result of that, I don't know. But they did win last year 34-24, but that was a much different team than what we're going to see tonight. Different quarterback, different star running back. different momentum, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be different. You would think, TCU has made changes at the quarterback position, and so it's a little bit of a question mark of what exactly that they will look like because of the injuries that they've had. But the Red Raiders, we know, are going to look completely different as an offense when you have a more experienced quarterback in there, especially knowing that, the inexperienced quarterback in Jake Strong was, he was kind of in over his head there at BYU. That was a big factor, and just the young man just is, you hate to blame him. You're just saying it's, he wasn't ready for the moment, and I think that BYU exposed that. But as most freshman quarterbacks are not, so not to be negative towards him, but you're a different team if you have Baron Morton out there at quarterback.
I wonder this, Jamie. I wonder how much confidence when the team, whether it's the special teams or the defense or even the offense or the wide receiver groups who's maybe most affected by this, how much more confident are they coming into this game knowing that they have Morton at quarterback and knowing that they have someone that has led them to wins and knowing that they have someone that appears to be healthier because he's been practicing? I have to think mentally that has to be just a huge boost for them, a big shot in the arm for them that hopefully will resonate on the field tonight.
You definitely like to think so all across the field, not just on the offense, but on the defensive side too, where guys know, hey, we got our guy back there. We've got a great chance to win this game because we have one of our leaders who's back and healthy and all that good stuff. But you're right, the wide receivers and everybody. I think it should give them a lift.
I think even like fans in the stands too. I mean, just as you walk into the stadium tonight, maybe with a little extra. Might have a little extra step in your step because the Rangers won, and maybe you have a good day at work today, and maybe, who knows, maybe you get a raise today, and your foot coming in, you're feeling really good, and look down there, and there's number 2, man, and he's going to lead us to a win tonight.
If you have an extra step in your step, does that mean you're two-stepping?
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
Could be skipping, could be prancing, could be something along those lines. Never been much of a two-stepper. I'm not really much of a. I don't know that I would necessarily classify myself as any kind of a dancer. Okay.
I would definitely not classify myself as
one. No. I just can't. So the other guy that you really want to see to have potentially a big night tonight is Taj Brooks. He could get into the top 10 for career rushing yards tonight. He needs 100 to match Baron Batch for 10th all time. Brooks has 2,401 yards, has rushed for at least 100 in 5 of Tech's last 6 games. And you'd like to think that, man, if you could establish the run a little bit tonight, that could open up some things for the receiving group because TCU might have paid a little bit more attention to Taj. They're going to pay attention to Taj. They know because they're going to look back there and go, hey, 28, man, that guy, keep an eye on him. He can run with the football. But if you can get and establish the run a little bit tonight, really think that could help you, throw the ball down the field some too.
It's massive. We've seen it in every game that, you want one to set up the other. But teams are going to try to slow down the run game, and if they do that, it should open things up for you in the passing game. But that doesn't mean you want to go away from the run game.
Yeah. Here's an odd thought. I hadn't even considered this or even thought about this, but this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Both offensive coordinators graduated from Friendship High School.
That is true.
Zach Kitley and Kendall Briles.
That's true.
Kendall Briles, his dad, of course, coached here during the Leach administration very, very early on. He played out there and went to school out there. Did not come to school here. And, of course, Zach Kitley was out there as well as his dad, obviously the longtime track coach here at Texas Tech. So that is kind of an interesting oddity. I wonder what the emotions are like for – because we haven't talked about this at all. And does this carry into the game at all? And probably not, but maybe a little bit. With Sonny Dykes coming back here, of course, his dad was the head coach here for many, many years, and Sonny coached here, and Sonny went to high school here, and so I have to think that there's a little bit of extra want to for him of walking into this stadium. It's somewhat a completely different stadium than when his dad coached here. With what's taken place on both the west and the east side, now the south end and the north end, the football training facility, it's damn near unrecognizable with the exception of the name on the stadium.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think obviously we all have a lot of respect for for Coach Dykes, and appreciate the fact that he was a Red Raider, but right now he's not. And so there's I don't know. There's just nothing there.
Nothing there.
You're the head of TCU. You're the head man at TCU. I got no love. Yeah, I hope it fails miserably.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
I mean, not just tonight, but like all the time.
Right.
You're wearing purple, dude, and
right.
you got TCU on your hat. You're not one of us. Sorry.
It's kind of like I saw some video the other day of a TCU game against Texas Tech, and there's Sonny Cumbie on the sideline. And it was just like, oh, man, forget about the fact that, Sonny spent some time there as the offensive coordinator and had some success, obviously, against Texas Tech. So, you hope that Coach Dykes has maybe found his old eating haunt and maybe whatever it was that he enjoyed when he came to Lubbock and had a good meal. Then he gets on a bus and a plane tonight with going, well, that was something, but it wasn't what we wanted, right? That's what we want to see tonight. We want to see disappointment. Sad frogs, not horned frogs tonight.
Yeah, and I'm really not. I don't care if they had a good meal or not.
Okay.
I hope that was bad too.
It's 6:30 this morning. This is Optimum Game Day Live. We're here all day long. Not Jamie and I, but folks will be here all day long to provide you with entertainment and information and get you ready for tonight's game. The kick is at 6. We'll have it for you right here on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jeff will give us this day in sports history at 6:45. November 1st next year on this day in sports history will be about the Rangers winning a world championship. How about that?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's good. Be interesting to see what the...
Well, considering that's also the day of the Crabtree catch. I mean,
sure.
November 1st is a big day.
Yeah, it's a big day. Right, absolutely. And, it's...
I think November 2nd should forever be known as Josh Young is a world champion day.
Yes. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. You've got Josh Young winning a World Series. He had a big hit last night in that ball game, scored a run. And
he seemed to be a rally starter a lot in the postseason.
Right? Yeah.
I might think about hitting him lead off next year.
And he was a vacuum cleaner over at third base, and he just looked like a grizzled veteran, really, to be.
And obviously his 3-hit game in Game 4, he was swinging it well, and I thought he hit the ball really well in his first 2 at-bats yesterday with nothing to show for it, and then looked pretty rough in his third at-bat with runners at first and third and only 1 out and unable to get the run home, struck out, I believe, on 3 pitches. And then, so it was just kind of like, oh, man, you really would have loved to have seen him get a run there to make it 2-0, and they end up kind of reclaiming a little bit of momentum by not giving up another run in that inning. And so I was worried that would be a big swing there. But it was nice that he got it going in the next at-bat, and then that started that rally.
You'll appreciate this. Right after the Rangers won, one of the first players that Jared Sandler talked to, I think he was the very first player that he talked to after the game, was Josh Young. And he said, what were you thinking in that 9th inning? He's like, I'm just trying to stay grounded, just trying to stay focused, just trying to stay locked in. All the things that you want to hear and would expect to hear from a guy like Josh Young, who, cut his teeth right behind us at Rip Griffin Park and, spent a lot of time over there and a lot of Red Raider victories, and kind of saw an awful lot of that. But man, the Rangers really leaned on him. When you think about rookie performances, I know that Evan Carter's getting a lot of play just because of how he came on in the late portion of the season and the playoffs. But, really from start to finish, Josh Young was a guy that they just didn't waver on. And then, when he went out of the lineup, obviously, because of an injury, you saw the impact without his bat. And boy, it was great to be able to get him back in the lineup. But that was just absolutely.
Yeah, it's exciting to think of the future for him.
No doubt.
I think the potential is definitely there for him to have a nice long career, and hopefully it remains there in Arlington.
6:36 this morning here on the Morning Drive. You can reach us this morning on the.
I also think it's pretty cool that in this state that's known for its football that we have back-to-back World Series champs, 2 different teams.
Sure, Houston and Texas.
That's cool.
Yeah, right. And how about Will Smith? I mean, his third straight year to be on a World Series champion. Atlanta and Houston.
You want to talk about a forgotten guy? At a certain time during the season, he was your closer.
Mm-hmm.
He was just non-existent in the postseason for the most part.
Right, but I mean that's because other guys. And that's what happens when teams win championships. There's certain portions of the year when this guy's better and this guy's better, and then somebody maybe gets hot at the end or kind of finds himself and all those things. Somebody wants to know if Josh could win a Gold Glove for his defense this year.
He was not named a Gold Glove finalist.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, and, obviously he's probably going to come up a little short, too, in Rookie of the Year, but I'm sure that he would say, if he were sitting right here, we won a World Series. I'll take that over anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing.
I think that's what Josh would say.
Yeah, that's right.
Gold Glove, Rookie of the Year, he'll throw all that away for a championship.
6:37 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Just before I left, on my way home from work, I guess, last night, they announced the passing of Bob Knight, who spent time here, obviously, won 3 national championships. His health had not been good. He was 83. For his family, in terms of how they look at it, more of a blessing than anything else. But still sad that he passed. Complicated guy, without a doubt. I think helped put you on the map here from a basketball standpoint because of the resurgence of what you needed. I'm not sure it ended the way that anybody would want it to end because it didn't end well with his son Pat ended up being fired and didn't really leave the cupboard full, but got you to a Sweet 16, almost got you to an Elite 8, and maybe more than anything else, maybe it made you feel that you could win here.
Yeah, sure. I would agree with all of that, and like you said, a complicated guy, no doubt about it. But he could really coach, and I think that a lot of us, appreciate a hard-nosed coach and a guy that was pretty strict in the way he did things, and it wasn't just about basketball with him. We all know about his donations to the library and all those kind of things where that kind of stuff was important to him as well. But he definitely helped put your basketball program on the map and get you to a Sweet 16 and all that good stuff. There were some crazy moments along the way, that's for sure. But yeah, it's sad anytime a legend like that passes away.
Yeah, and the saddest thing is that compared to some coaches today, and it's interesting because he was a relatively young man. He was, I think, 61 when he took this job, and now you see a lot of coaches that are coaching into their 70s and beyond, and it seems like a guy like Rick Pitino or Jim Boeheim or even Mike Krzyzewski, Roy Williams, those types of guys, and then had success late. I wondered how he would feel about today. Probably not very good about today's NIL. Probably wouldn't like that at all. Probably would hate the transfer portal. He was a guy that famously wouldn't take junior college players for years and years and years, but then finally did and ended up winning with one. One hit the winning shot for him. So, of his last national championship, and I would say when you kind of look at him and go, he got to 3 by 1987 and got back to the Final Four one additional time, but couldn't get back to a national championship game to get a fourth.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, I think players didn't want to play for that style of coach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's probably hard for him to recruit at a super high level. We could, today's not the day for it, but the debates of, our coaches, there's a fine line. I think you want strict and hard-nosed coaches and all that, but I think there's times where coaches clearly go over the line. And I think Coach Knight was definitely a guy that was, probably crossed that line sometimes and lived in a gray area and all that good stuff. But we'd all like our athletes to be a little bit mentally tougher now.
Mm-hmm.
And so Coach Knight was definitely a guy that if you were going to play for him, you better be mentally tough.
Well, and the other thing, too, is his kids graduated, and a lot of his players went back and got additional degrees. And, and he's praised for a lot of things that he did that nobody ever knew, and praised for raising money for the university and getting scholarships endowed and things along those lines. So it was more than just basketball. I think education was very important to him. Reading was very important to him, and you tip your hat. And I wish he could have gotten to a Final Four here. I think that would have been just the icing on top of the cake, so to speak, or the cherry on top of the icing, so to speak, for him. But that did not occur. Bob Knight dead at 83 years old. We'll get to Texas Tech football schedule for the future, but tonight it's TCU, Red Raiders, and Horned Frogs this evening, with Tech coming in at 3-5. And really, man, I hate to say this, but you're getting to a point where if you want to win and get into a bowl situation, you need to win 3 more games, and these next 3 really become must-winners, just from the standpoint of if you face Texas in the last game of the season and the way that Texas is playing and at their place, that's a pretty tall task. You can only win 1 game tonight. There is no doubleheader. There's no doubleheader in college football.
It's good.
So you can only win 1, but winning tonight keeps you in that spot of getting bowl eligible again and getting back and getting into postseason play. It's not going to be as pretty a bowl as what you've had in the last couple of years, but it gets you the extra practices, gets you the exposure, it gets you your team an opportunity to do something in postseason play, and you got to win tonight to kind of keep that alive.
I think the most important thing is just to feel that you're trending in the right direction. I think after getting to 8-5 ultimately last year, if you end up not in a bowl game this year, it's going to feel like a major step back.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah, compared to what you have been doing the last couple of years.
Even if you get to 6-6, it's probably going to feel like a bit of a step back.
Yeah, based on what you did last year and who you beat last year and how you finished last year. We're here outside the Fraser Alumni Pavilion, just across the street from Jones Stadium, mere steps from the entrance here at the southwest corner of Jones Stadium. Tech and TCU, they'll kick it off tonight at 6. Optimum Game Day live coverage all day long here on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Our portion of Optimum Game Day Live as we take you through this entire day today. So if you're on your way to work or on your way home from work or school or taking the kids or getting everybody ready and then thinking about this afternoon, so consider this, games at 6. May want to ask the boss man or the boss lady if you can get out a little bit earlier today. So get in there and bust it early, kind of get all your to-dos done. And, if you're in the sales business, maybe if you've sold something that you haven't reported yet, maybe report it today as being sold. That way you can get maybe a little extra credit by saying, hey, I got this done today. Can I go ahead and get out of here about 4 o'clock so that you can get home and get dressed and get ready for the ball game, grab your lucky lady and head over here to Jones Stadium. So you want to...
Shouldn't give away all your secrets, Chuck. You wonder why all of us doubt you so much when you say things. We know you go on air and tell us all your secrets.
I haven't sandbagged anything yet today. I mean, potentially there might be something in the sand today. Let's see. Guns up, guys, from the trash truck driver. He went by just a few minutes ago, so thank him for listening to Double T 97.3.
Thanks for getting the trash away, too.
Absolutely. That'd be something. That'd be something that I think maybe one of those I'd like to spend a morning doing, just to shadow. I think that'd be fun to see. Like back in the day, like when I was a kid growing up, the garbage man, you'd put your trash on the corner. Okay, we didn't have alleys or anything like that. You'd put your trash can on the corner by your driveway, and the trash men would drive through the streets, and there'd be 2 guys on the back. They'd be hanging on the back.
Sure.
And one guy would get one side of the street, and the other guy would get another side of the street. Then you had the driver, and they'd take it, and they'd
like he'd get a good amount of exercise doing that.
Right,
be outside.
Get your steps in.
Yeah, as long as the weather wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those things. Yeah. Trashman reports, trash truck driver, excuse me. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you for what you do, man. You're the man. I'm going to tell my boss. Chuck told me I could leave early. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Absolutely. Tell him Chuck said that.
He also said that Wednesday was Friday, so you really didn't even need to show up today. Or tomorrow.
Everybody in my old neighborhood waved at those dudes hanging off the trucks. Yes, Paul, I'm right there with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Looked kind of fun.
It did look kind of fun. Okay, so so a couple other things here about this TCU team. In total offense, they do get after it. They produce about 465 yards a ball game. I think your defense is better than it's listed as 9th in the Big 12, but it feels like you've been better than that, Jamie.
I would definitely agree with that. I think the defense has been good enough to win you pretty much every game you've lost this year. Mm-hmm. Offense hasn't come through enough.
Yeah, and then within that, and I'm sorry, your total defense is 4th. Your total defense.
I was going to say that number seemed really high.
That's total offense that was 9th. I'm sorry, I just looked down wrong. So your defense is only giving up about 367 yards per ball game, and it's 4th in the Big 12. You're 4th against the pass. TCU is 3rd in passing offense. The challenge that you've had is what you haven't been able to do is put pressure on the quarterback, and you're 9th and they're 1st. So that's the big difference in this. And then the other thing is turnover margin. Neither team is lighting it up. Tech is worse than TCU. You're giving up 1 per ball game. The Red Raiders are 14th in the league in turnover margin. TCU is 11th. So it's I guess you could say this about just about every football game, whether it's Pee Wee or pro. This is going to come down to the offensive line and who turns over the ball the least, right? Who wins the line of scrimmage and who does the best job of controlling themselves and not turning the ball over.
Yeah, it's a big factor in every game, right? Mm-hmm. Both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line. Can you win the battles there? Mm-hmm. And can you not shoot yourself in the foot by giving the ball away?
Yeah. In running offense, Texas Tech is 9th, TCU is 10th. And I would tell you at 176 yards per ball game, what you've been averaging from a rushing standpoint, I don't know if you have to rush for that much tonight, but you sure have to get the ball in the hands of Taj Brooks. And I'll be curious how much Cameron Valdez gets the ball tonight. Can you get the ball in his hands a little bit to spell Taj Brooks? Does that help you? Or do the jet sweeps with Dre McCray, do they work tonight because you're able to do some other things? And can you get some explosive plays tonight out of your offense? Because I really do feel like this offense is going to look totally different than what we have seen since maybe the Oregon game. And when I say look totally different, I just think that you're going to be more active, you're going to be more prolific, you're going to have more weapons, you're going to be able to do more things than what you've been able to do, because it feels like that your offense is healthier than it's been in some point in time.
Yeah, you can just give me the offense we saw against Houston and Baylor, and I'll be thrilled with that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you turned it over 5 times against Oregon, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm fine with being a little bit more conservative than that.
Okay. Let's see. We've said that each game, Chuck. Yeah, I understand. We've said that each game. So we'll see. We get this advice from our friend, the half marathoner, Vencel Kukui from Magic 106.5. He says, if you go for a run, you'll warm up. That's what I did Sunday, because he ran in the half marathon.
Yeah, problem is we can't really run our headsets on and do the show there.
Need to would have a
Skinny Vince
extension of that, an extension of that. So 7:25 this morning here on the Morning Drive. This is Optimum Game Day Live from the Fraser Alumni Pavilion as we get you ready for Texas Tech and TCU. The kick is tonight at 6 o'clock from Jones Stadium. After the game, it's the Double T 97.3 Coors Light postgame show from the Overton Hotel and Conference Center. Jamie and I'll be there tomorrow morning with a special Morning Drive on location edition, and hopefully that's happy totals. Hopefully it's people still hanging out in the bar from the previous night. All those kinds of things would be nice to see.
Hopefully there's not rotten vegetables thrown at us if things go poorly.
The leftovers, right? The leftovers from the...
Yeah, that's what we are, the leftovers.
The leftovers. We can be. Let's see. I'm hoping that's true about the offense, Chuck, but don't forget, Coach McGuire said Morton hasn't practiced since West Virginia. Well, he's practiced this week, and he practiced last week. And, yes, that was the first time since West Virginia, but that's better that he's been practicing than not, because that's been the case where they haven't really had their QB1, so to speak, available for practice because he's been injured. So I'd have to think that's going to make a difference. We get this. I have to work on campus until 5. Should be criminal. Well, take your game day clothes with you and
you can just walk right over afterwards.
Change over, and whether it's criminal or not, I don't know. I'm sorry. Is that a sorry about you time there? That'd be
only if you think it's his fault for having a job.
We didn't win the lottery, so he's got to work.
No, it's not a sorry about you.
Okay, it's not a sorry about you. Okay. So I just can't get that right.
You can't get it right.
Yeah.
I really thought we agreed you weren't going to use that.
I know.
I'm sorry. Just
there's.
It just kind of felt like that was
another one of my two kinds of people in this world, right? There's people that know what they don't know, and people that don't know what they don't know.
I have a split personality. I have both of those traits.
So it's, if you're able to go, well, I don't know anything about, look at this.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Nice cup of coffee.
We
so
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You too. Take care.
Boy, how about that? Service with a smile. We get
some
hot,
warm
fresh
coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Nice. Awesome.
I know that you don't really care for it, but I'll.
But I really appreciate.
You can warm your hands
yes,
up with it.
I appreciate the offer. That was very nice of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Raider 2 Guns says, "Will I need a beer tonight, or will I want a beer tonight?" I think you're going to want a beer tonight.
If you didn't get one last night, no matter what, you can just say you're still celebrating the Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure can.
Yeah, so
and
really you can.
Nice and hot.
That's good. It's good stuff. That's
good
very
stuff.
nice of them.
And it was very nice of her.
You can just really celebrate all weekend for the Rangers. So
and that's one that is there for a long time. 41 years for me waiting to see a Rangers World Championship. Great year. Got some seats on the east side. Hopefully get to see Chuck. Well, I'm at about the 45 there, right where the old concourse was that went through. So come by and see me. 38-17 Tech. Brooks 3 touchdowns, 194 yards. That was Zay. Woo! Take that.
Go.
Sign me up for that right now. Optimum Game Day Live continues from the Fraser Alumni Pavilion here on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. We'll continue to take your thoughts, comments, score predictions on the Yates Flooring Center chat line.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All right, Chuck. It is time for the question of the day here on Double T 97.3. And my question today, not surprisingly, is going to surround Red Raider football. And I am
be about
just
the Texas Rangers instead. It's much more fun.
We got a big football game right over here.
There's a big one, really big one, really big one. So I'm going to ask you guys the question today. What will the key stat be in today's contest?
What will it be? Third downs. I think you need to convert on third down tonight, and that has been a little bit of a struggle for you. But I think that if you can sustain drives and keep from putting yourself behind the 8 ball, so to speak, with third down, because third downs this year, Texas Tech is 51 of 121. And when I looked at the TCU stat on this, it kind of stood out at me. So TCU is 53 of 120. So both teams are pretty even on that. So which team is better on third down? Which team is sustaining their offense better? Which team is keeping the ball from the other team better?
Yeah, and I would say that I think it's defensively. If I had to pick one of the two for the Red Raiders, I would pick defensively is the more important one. If you can get them off the field. because I feel like you'll have, even if you're not great on third downs offensively, I think you have the potential to have some big plays in this one, so you won't need a lot of third down conversions.
Okay.
But I think defensively to get them off the field would be massive.
Jeff?
Defensive takeaways. It has been feast or famine with this team the last few seasons, and you've got to turn the ball over tonight. I don't know that you're going to be perfect on the offensive side of the ball, and I don't even know that you need to have more turnovers than they do. But you've got to get some tonight. And I'll even include turnovers on fourth down. I know those aren't an official stat for the turnover category, but they basically are, because you're getting the ball right there. And that kind of thing can help your offense if they're not always with a long field. You give them short fields, you get the momentum going. Maybe you take one of those big long shots after an interception, like we talked about the other day. That is where I think today can be one for the Red Raiders.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Texas Tech on fourth down this year is 12 of 23. I'm sorry, Texas Tech on fourth down is 18 of 27. TCU is 12 of 23. The Red Raiders' opponents are 7 of 16 on fourth down. TCU opponents are 6 of 19 on fourth down.
Okay. All right. I am going to go yards per rush because I think if you are not able to run the ball effectively, then you're going to put Baron Morton in some bad spots. We know how good TCU's pass rush is. We know that you had trouble at times protecting the quarterback. So if you're not rushing the ball well on first and second down, picking up 4, 5, 6, whatever, and you're getting into third and long, I think this offensive line is going to have a little bit of trouble with those edge rushers from TCU, and you're going to have to go away from the running the football if you're not able to pick up nice yardage running the ball. And if you're doing that, then they're going to pin their ears back. They're going to get after Baron Morton. That's probably going to force interceptions, turnovers, whatever. And so I just think the yards per carry is a huge stat tonight.
Okay, this is interesting. When you look at yards per carry for both of these teams average 4.8 yards per carry. Both of these teams are right at 175 yards in rushing per game. Tech's at 176, TCU's at 175. Texas Tech has 294 rushing attempts, 1,408 yards. TCU 293 rushing attempts, 1,403 yards. All right. Defensively, it's comparable as well. Texas Tech defensively is giving up 147 yards per game. That's 4 yards per tote. TCU 149 per game and 4 yards per tote. So TCU and Texas Tech very comparatively on terms of what they allow rushing-wise and what they rush themselves, which goes back to that offensive line and defensive line and who's winning the battles, or the linebackers, and who's winning the battles there in terms of, stopping teams and containing them. And like you said, with regard to my third down thought, is, who can get the other team off the field better. So there you go.
Quicker.
It's probably better, a better English term, quicker. Did you consider yourself kind of an English whiz in college? Did you have any English classes that kind of put you above the average?
I don't consider myself a whiz at anything. I think I'm a decent writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm a decent vocabulary.
Yeah, I think so.
Not like extraordinary, but decent.
I'll tell you who has a depth of vocabulary that I'm envious of in terms of how he connects all the words is Aaron Dickens. He has that ability to. He's a wordsmith.
Wordsmith. I like it.
I mean,
that's good.
And just sometimes he connects all these words. I'm like, wow, that was really brilliant, man. You were really smart. Yeah. Of course, you pair him up with Dr. Mike Gustafson. I don't know some of that, if there's some kind of transfer theory that goes there between brains. And if I'm infecting you, I'm so sorry.
I always hated professors that had a massive vocabulary because you were like, hey, could you just use words that we understand so we can understand the lecture a little bit better?
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes the smartest people don't have the most common sense.
No, I get it. And
Yeah.
sometimes
That's why they tell a radio in your journalism classes. They tell you you're supposed to talk to an 8th grade audience.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Problem is we're like a couple of 4th graders. That's above our head.
That's right. We're gonna see how my not that I'm going to take any credit for him, but the young phenom.
Sure you won't.
The young phenom is in a
Right.
oral reading competition next week. So we had a little practice last night at my house. So he's out loud reading. He's got to read a poem.
What's the competition?
It's like a district competition. It's
Yeah, like the most words read?
No. I think it's how you read them and.
Oh, okay. So
the
public speaking
Public
kind
speaking,
of thing.
yeah, kind of thing. And then he's got some mannerisms. I had to explain to him what mannerisms meant. Because I said, you had really good mannerisms there. He's like, mannerisms. And I said, well, the way you express yourself. I said, oh, okay. Because he has a little, with the way he moves his hands, his poem is what if. So he kind of ends it with a good smirk on his face. So I always thought, he said that, when we backed it up and I stopped, I said, you see that look right there? That's a really good look. See that smirk right there?
Okay.
Not that you want to be showing that to your parents or your teachers, but that smirk might work well for his competition.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well, good.
We'll see how that.
Well, I wish the young phenom well. At least you haven't overbuilt him up with a nickname like Phenom
Right.
to make it tougher on him. Glad you didn't put any extra pressure on him.
No extra pressure. No,
Yeah.
No extra pressure. We're
Does he go by his real name at school?
Yeah, I think
He
so.
does?
Yeah,
He does?
He does go by his real name in school. I don't think he goes around and says, "Hey, I'm the young phenom." I mean, he has.
Well, you just told us yesterday that he did.
He does do that from time to time. Yeah. Well, somebody.
It's all of yesterday.
Somebody said, "Are you the young phenom?" And he said, "Yes, I am." That's what they said. They said to him, "Are you?" But,
okay.
But he has been known to say.
And the other one said, "And I'm Boy
I'm
Wonder."
Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
And by the way, Boy Wonder yesterday, and I've got this on video if you want to see it. Maybe
Of course
not.
you do.
Well, it was sent to me by daughter number one, his mother.
Proud mama.
Boy Wonder said yesterday, today is Wednesday. It's the day the work gets done.
That's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, those poor children.
They're already brainwashed, aren't they? Unfortunately for them, they're infected. Their parents will help with that, though. I told you something else that I think is going to be key.
Do they have the personality of their parents too, or just you?
I think their parents would say, "Oh God, no, not me." No, I think one of them's they're reflective at times of their parents. I think.
Okay.
And in a good way.
That's good. Yeah, I'm sure that's the positive side, right?
Anything negative? Yeah, it's. You've been around big.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you. There's characteristics of my children that I'm like, man, I wish they were better or didn't do that. And then I'm like, yeah, because they're exactly you. Yeah, it's 1,000% my fault.
Right.
I feel bad for my wife.
I understand. Right.
She's had to fight the good fight.
Boom, Boom, Boom is coming up. We're here from the Fraser Alumni Pavilion. The sky is starting to get lighter, so the sun is going to come up. The sun is going to come up. That's good because looking for a great day today and a nice kickoff tonight at 6 o'clock. Temperature's supposed to be in the mid to high 60s for kickoff tonight, but then it'll dip down once the sun goes down. So prepare yourself accordingly tonight for the ball game.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
And the pitch is swung on, ground ball right side, it's through, a base hit. Racing around third base is Young, and he will score, and the ball gets by all the way to the 413 sign. Here comes Lowe, he scores. Into third base is Jonah Heim, and the Rangers lead 3-0 in the top of the ninth. The ball misplayed out in right center field, and 2 runs score. The 0-1. Simeon lines one deep to left center field. That ball is way back, and that ball is history. A 2-run homer for Marcus Simeon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scores, kicks, and fires. He struck him out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series. Ranger fans, you're not dreaming. The Rangers are the World Series champions. After 52 years in Texas, 63 years in the franchise. The wait is over, and the celebration has begun. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world.
Hey, good morning, and welcome to hour number 3 of the Morning Drive here with Optimum Game Day Live. We sit just outside Jones Stadium, where Texas Tech will play TCU tonight at 6 o'clock. Last night on our airwaves, you heard Eric Nadel, and man, you heard why he was a Hall of Famer right there, because he nailed the ending, Jamie. He absolutely nailed the ending, and the Rangers win their first ever World Series. And, you know, it's your first of things are always cool, whether it's your first job or anything along those lines. But when you win a world championship, lots of things become available to players and to fans. And we have with us on the Visual Edge IT hotline Tim Boyle. And Tim has something really exciting to share with you that will be available for Ranger fans. And there'll be lots of collectibles and lots of things that you're going to want. And this is something that you're going to want because it is a full-color photo featuring Ranger players surrounded by the Commissioner's Trophy, which is the World Series trophy, a World Series champion bronze coin, and the banner listing every Rangers postseason score. Good morning, Tim. Tell us more about this collectible that you guys are going to have to offer and how our listeners can get it.
Yeah, good morning, Chuck and Jamie. Highland Mint is giving fans the chance to celebrate the Rangers' first ever World Series championship with a 13-inch by 16-inch collectible frame that you just described very well. You did my job for me. Thanks. There's 6 key Rangers players in there, like you said, around the Commissioner's Trophy, a couple of bronze coins, and then a banner that lists every Rangers postseason score. But it's double matted in Rangers colors. It's protected under a glass panel, and then it's presented in a black frame that comes ready to hang when you get it.
And you can get this by going to what, Tim? How can they order this? They can do 2 ways. Go to a website and call you.
Yeah, that's correct. And we're only making 5,000 of these Rangers World Series champions banner photo mitts. Price is $99.99 each for your listeners. Normally it's $20 more. But the two ways to order are the website where you can see it. That's sbflip.com. S is in super, B is in bowl, flip, FLIP.com. We have that website because Highland Mint produces the coin that's flipped prior to the Super Bowl every year. Or you can call toll-free 1-888-560-2727. So that's 1-888-560-2727.
Yeah, and you know that when you win something like this, obviously a lot of collectibles become available. But this sounds like, Jamie, something's pretty special.
Yeah, Tim, these are, you said limited edition 5,000. I'm assuming that you guys have been able to make these for other championship teams, and have they been, really hot collectibles that have sold pretty quickly?
Yeah, and it varies from market to market. Like you were alluding to earlier, the first time a team does something, it's really huge. Like when the Red Sox won the World Series for the first time in 86 years or whatever it was, and when the Cubs won the World Series for the first time, those things sold out real quickly. So I expect this to be a pretty hot one as well. I never guarantee something like that, but often these kinds of things are worth more later on the secondary market as a result of that. So.
Well, again, Tim, there's $99.99 for our listeners. Normally it's $20 more. So just by listening to us, we've saved you $20. So you can go to your wife and say, hey, I saved $20 today, and so now you can go do this, because that's what she does all the time, too. At least that's kind of how it seems like that's how it works at my house. Hey, we saved. Okay, what did we spend? But we saved, right? We saved, right?
Is there a special code or something you have to give to get the $20 off?
Nope. Just tell them you can mention who you're calling after hearing this on your station. That would help. But they'll make sure you get that.
They'll make sure. Okay. Awesome. And what a perfect time of the year, right? I mean, we're Christmas coming up, right? Feels like this would be an awesome gift for a Rangers fan.
That's right. And of the 6 players pictured, of course, Corey Seager's in there, the MVP. I guess I saw that he's only the 4th player to win the World Series MVP twice, and I think it hasn't been done for, over 45 years or something like that.
So if memory serves me correct from last night, I know Bob Gibson was one. I think Sandy Koufax was the other, but don't hold me to that. But I know that Reggie Jackson was the other position player. So there have been 2 position players, Corey Seager and Reggie Jackson, and then 2 pitchers. So, it's a pretty exclusive group.
Yeah, you just nailed all 3. Koufax and Gibson, of course, did it during the 60s, and Reggie during the 70s.
Okay. Well, listen, Tim, thanks very much for being with us, and we look forward to seeing what that looks like. And I know fans will be excited to get their hands on that and put it, whether it's in their office or their room at home, or maybe you get the garage at your house, and that's where it's got to go, or the basement, wherever it is. But it'll be something that'll be special. And Jeff has put that website on our Yates Flooring Center chat line along with the phone number, so it'll be very, very easy to do. Somebody says this. I looked at the website. Josh Young is on the picture on the frame, so that'll help you here, Tim.
Yeah, Tim, that'll sell you a lot right there. The former Red Raider on there, so that's good news.
Right. Sorry we couldn't squeeze Bobby Knight in there. But,
I think you would have had more success with Patrick Mahomes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, listen, Tim, thanks very much, and it's always good when we get to have these calls because it means you won something big, and obviously the Rangers did last night in winning the World Series. So somebody said they just ordered theirs. So see, we already sold you one. Sold you one, so I don't know what the commission is on that, but you can just send it to me. Thank you, Tim.
Will do.
That's Tim Boyle with us this morning on the Visual Edge IT Hotline. Jamie and I are on location this morning in front of the Fraser Alumni Pavilion. We come to you from the First United Bank mobile studio today, as Optimum Game Day Live is going to take you all the way up to the kickoff today. We'll have we'll go inside the stadium with the Red Raider Tailgate Show at 5 with John Harris and Chris Level and Brian Jensen, and then our fine folks will take you all through the day today. So it is going to be one of those days where it's hard to get stuff done. I mean, you had a Ranger huge win last night, obviously, with the World Series. You've got a big distraction today, hopefully, for you with Texas Tech and TCU. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll just kind of slide into the weekend with all kinds of warm fuzzies, Jamie, with a world championship. And
that would make for a great weekend if you can win tonight.
TCU, right? Mm-hmm. TCU lost today to the Red Raiders. That'd just be optimum, as we hear with Optimum Game Day Live.
That would be fantastic. It's not Fantastic Game Day Live, but it would be optimum, yes.
And tomorrow morning, Jamie and I will be over at the Overton Hotel and Conference Center. We'll have a special Friday morning edition of Football Friday. And so that'll be fun tomorrow. Look forward to being there tonight for the Double T 97.3 Coors Light postgame show. I do have some trinkets and goodies to hand out. Okay?
Nice.
So I'll give those to those folks, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning. So I'm not a Bloody Mary guy, but maybe some folks will have one tomorrow morning. They'll be available, I would imagine.
And probably some orange juice probably would just too.
Orange juice too.
Or milk or water.
Right. Yeah, all those things.
You're not required to get hammered tomorrow morning. You could drink coffee, whatever.
Right, you're not required. No, you don't have to. Trevor has ordered one for his mom. Christmas is done for her. Wow.
Nice.
There you go. You got to take care of Mama, right? And Bullfighter has ordered his.
So it's Evaldi, Simeon, Garcia, Montgomery, Seager, and Josh Young are the 6 players featured.
They no pun intended, hit a home run by putting Josh Young on there. Well,
in Lubbock, Texas, they did. Yeah.
Right. Well, we're all that matters, Jamie, right now.
Yeah, it's really cool looking.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, again, check that out and order one for the Ranger fan in your life.
This is, with Josh living here in Lubbock, your chances of getting to see Josh around or different places is pretty good because he does a lot of events here in town. man, this would be phenomenal to have Josh signed.
Okay. You'd have to take the glass off, but, I mean, you can figure that out.
Thank you, Chuck.
Captain Obvious.
I appreciate your help.
Well, just sometimes when you think out loud, Jamie, you don't realize that what you said is
Was thinking going on there, or just being out loud?
maybe just being out loud.
Okay.
The whole think before you speak speech has just never resonated with me.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what keeps it.
Man, we got a bunch getting ordered here. Somebody got one for their father-in-law. Someone got for him and his son.
Okay.
Wow, that's great.
That's awesome.
It's really cool looking.
Yeah.
So, and first time, like you said, Chuck, the first time you do something, man, that's cool to have.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Yeah, you got the father-in-law, you got everybody taken care of there. So just get a plethora of them. Somebody wants to know what the phone number is. Just scroll down on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You'll see it.
A couple different times. It's on there.
It's on there already. Texas Tech and TCU tonight over at Jones Stadium. What do you think? What do you think the message is from the head man to his troops tonight with regard to Joey McGuire as they are holed up in their hotel rooms and have their meetings today and then their walkthroughs and things like that? What do you think his general message is to his team?
Man, you got a lot to play for still. The season hasn't gone like you wanted it to, but that doesn't matter now. You've got a lot to play for. First off, there's a Big 12 team in here that's coming to town that's your rival, and they like to beat you and you like to beat them. And so playing for pride there, but there's still, there's a completely different feel to the season if you end up in a bowl game. Especially that would mean that you finish the season strong. So you've got a lot to play for here, and forget about the past and just worry about what you can do right now.
Have to have a little bit of amnesia with regard to that. I'll be really anxious and curious if Jacob Rodriguez gets out there tonight and plays. And I think that would really help your linebacking core. He's not played since the first quarter of the Wyoming game, and so would love to see him out there and at that linebacking spot. So if you see number 10 on the defense, that's Jacob Rodriguez. Coach McGuire said they need to make sure that he can play about 30 plays before he's going to play. And he felt on Monday like that was a 90%er of that. So we'll see. We'll see if that is the case tonight for Jacob Rodriguez.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.